Well, happy Monday, everybody. This is a live look from our Briarcliff cam. Oh, man, what a day. Great day. 7:07 is the time right now. This is live. It's also recorded. You may see the recorded version later on. So if you need to, you can just kind of roll through the video and get what you're looking for. But we're going to go over how great the weather is, why it has been nice, and why it's about to shift back into summertime. And August and summer's not done. August is coming back. We've got the heat, we've got the humidity, we've got the heat index, all of that returning. We also have some rain. I'm watching something for your weekend, so we'll take a peek at that and just get you ready for, weather's going to be changing on us a little bit. And it's kind of sad because this has been awesome. This has been a treat. So let's dive in. Let me show you what we're working with here. So the reason why it was hot is because we had that red circle that you see. It's what we call the heat dome, is a slang term. It's about 18,000 feet above the ground, and so about halfway as high as the jetliners fly. It's part of the atmosphere that we look at. It's a big area of high pressure. That's sinking air, and that air gets really hot, and underneath, especially the middle of that, is where your hottest part is going to be. Now, that's what we had over us last week, early last week, and we had that kind of 2-week-ish hot stretch. We had some breaks in there. But it takes a lot to break those up, but it did. You see this L that's over Illinois? That's an area of low pressure that split that heat in half. The thing is, as soon as that L scoots out, these things are going to try to connect again. They're going to build right back up. So that's your break. And then here it comes. All right, as soon as that thing leaves, now you've lost it. And your heat dome, while it will not be on top of us this time, this is not a heat wave. This is nothing that's going to be, flirting with records or heat advisories or anything like that. But we are going to get back under the envelope of the heat, and that's going to mean that we see August, heat and humidity come back our way. Compared to this, today's high temperature was 82 at the airport, and so far this month, we have had the 4th coolest start to August since we've been keeping records at the airport. So unusually cool. What a nice break it has been. But that will not last. We've got kind of one more day. So Tuesday is the last of this little fall tease. Really by Tuesday morning it comes to an end. But Tuesday afternoon starts to warm up a little bit. Then it gets hot again. The hottest days are going to be on Thursday and Friday. And then your weekend, your rain chance is going to rise a little bit. So this is what the high temperatures look like. Now, today, again, 82. So tomorrow is going to be about 3 degrees warmer than today, but we're still blue. We're still cooler than normal. Normal is nearly 90. This is our, on average, hottest time of the year through the 7th, through August 7th. So it's the end of July through August 7th is our hottest stretch of the year where the high temperature averages 89. Wednesday, we're basically back. 88 degrees is the forecast, and just think normal summer heat. And then Thursday and Friday, 90s, 91, 92. What we're not putting up there like we had last time was like 96. We had a 96 with that last round of heat. We had that just last week. The other thing is the humidity. And this was a big player in that last round of heat that we had, because if you go back to like last Tuesday, we were one of the most humid areas in the country in Kansas City. We were more humid than Miami, more humid than Houston, more humid than New Orleans. And the reason is twofold. One is we had all that wind out of the south that was pumping in moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, straight in out of the Gulf of Mexico. And the other thing that enhances that is this time of year in late July and early August, the cornfields, they take the water from the ground that, causes the corn to grow, and that corn releases that back into the air in what we call corn sweat. And that causes our humidity levels in Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska to just go crazy. And it puts us way up there at the top. I mean, that air was straight in out of the swamp last week. Then we crushed it. We brought it way down. Thursday, Friday, the weekend, it has been amazing. This is not what you expect in August. So what happens going ahead? This is a big question with our humidity. Well, it's going up gradually over the next couple of days, and it does turn humid again, especially as we get into the weekend. But you're going to notice it this week. Tomorrow, we're going kind of into the muggy territory. We're starting out of that, get out of that comfy zone. And then by Wednesday, we're firmly, on our way up. So not as bad as it was last week, though. This is not going back to last week's, the last heat wave round of heat or humidity. So that's good. but this is how it's going to feel. So you combo the two, the heat and the humidity, and this is what our body interprets it is going to feel like. 89 on Tuesday, 93 on Wednesday. We can deal with that. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, triple digits, thereabouts, for several hours in the peak heat of the afternoon. That's pretty common this time of year, but it's hot, no doubt. So just get ready for that. The thing that gets me with it, let me see if I can show this to you, is whenever it turns humid like that, is our nighttime low temperatures, they don't cool off as much. Let's see if this graphic is correct. Yes. So the humidity, the moisture in the air holds that heat more than if it were really dry. So that's why whenever our humidity is low like tonight, it's going to be in the low 60s, some of us in the 50s. It's great. But when the humidity comes up, our nighttime temperatures don't fall out of the 70s. And that means that your AC is going to run that much longer, which means it's expensive. Heat is expensive. So we're going to feel that in our wallets again. But hey, the thing is we could be grateful for what we had because we don't often get, start to August or wrap to July like we had. This is great. Something I want you to know, too, is the air quality has been a problem since last Friday where we had the Canadian wildfire smoke come in. There's still some of that around. It's not nearly as bad as it was. But if you're super sensitive, the air quality is still not great. And I think that's the way it's going to be tomorrow. It's still a little bit of smoke in the air. Temperature-wise, right now, we're in the upper 70s. This evening is going to be amazing. We're going to keep it in the 70s for the next several hours before it drops back into the comfy 60s by like midnight. And then tomorrow morning, this is our coolest morning in the forecast. Tuesday morning is awesome. All right, 60 degrees, light winds. It starts out clear and sunny, just like fall-like. You could you certainly get out the sweatshirt. Anytime you get a sweatshirt in August, you got to go for it. Chiefs training camp is great on Tuesday, too. So you've got low to mid-70s at the start of practice. The end of practice, you're getting near 80. We're dry. I mean, if you were, we've been tracking that forecast, since training camp's been going on, and some of those days were rough. I mean, right out of the gate, you had heat index at like 95. Not the case tomorrow. So high temperatures for us on Tuesday. We might nab a 90 or 2 south of I-70, but I think that's going to be even kind of hard to find there. Generally, low to mid-80s. It's a good day and pretty consistent. Lots of sunshine going around. And then on the 7-day, some things that jump out to me here. Number one is going to be on Wednesday. Believe it or not, this is the last day at Overland Park pools. They're going to shut the pools down at the end of the day on Wednesday. So it's a good pool day. Get it in while you can. We're going to warm things back up. I took my kids on Sunday, and Sunday was like 70, I think it was 76, and it was cloudy. And I have 3-year-old twin girls and a 5-year-old boy, and they were all doing the teeth chatter. They were cold. I'm like, we got to go. They're like, no. They didn't want to leave, but they were cold. So we had, our last day at the pool, and we couldn't even hardly use it. But as soon as it gets hot again, the pool's closed. Go figure. All right, Thursday, this is the start of the state fair, and the fair's either going to be, hot or stormy, or both. This year's going to be hot. All right, Thursday, 20% rain chance. 91. It's not horrible, typical fair weather. Heat index going to be near 100. Friday's at 92. Friday looks like a pretty big night if you're heading out there. That's where they got a lot of big events. I'll get you that full 7-day. There's your weekend. Okay, so right now I've got a 30% chance on Saturday and Sunday. It really looks to be Saturday night through Sunday morning. And temperatures both days going to be about 90 degrees. This is how it looks right now in our long-range charts. You see this? We've got a system nearby. Now, it may focus to our east, and it looks like it's largely while we're sleeping Saturday night into early Sunday morning. So it may not cause much disruption to our plans. And if that's the case, we won't put a first warn on it. But if the timing adjusts or if it becomes something that's really heavy and we need to be watching, then we'll put a first warn and give you an alert. Hey, your weekend, just know that something's out there. Right now, I think we're going to be okay. We just got to keep an eye on that timing and make sure that it's going to stay Saturday night and Sunday morning, and probably scattered. So there's Sunday, 89. And then Monday of next week, still a 30% chance, some spotty storms, a little bit more active. There's a front that's trying to punch in and cool us back down. I don't think it's going to get here till Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. But Monday is the start of school for Shawnee Mission. How are we already at back to school? We are, but it's going to start steamy with a few storms for Shawnee Mission. So there's the update for you, everybody. Let me check the Facebook comments, see if we have any questions. Well, hello, Leslie. So that's the setup, everybody. We'll have updates coming up at 10 o'clock, and weather at 10 should be really nice. So we'll see you there. I hope that this was helpful as you get your plan together for your week. Always appreciate you joining us, and enjoy that nice weather tonight. We'll see you at 10. Take care.